lived in the city and I was practicing yoga in the city.
I'm
not in the
that.
Himalayas or not isolated in the caves or the mountains. Because if I had done this in the cave or the mountains, I would have really no chances to test my silence.
Yeah.
The best place you can test your silence is when you're put in a situation where your mind can become disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
And in this kind of society, that's perfect.
Right?
Information is entering into you at such high speeds, such chaos is happening around.
Ridiculous.
So the best place to test your silence, one of the best places, is in the middle of a city like this.
It's amazing, I love it.
So this is tremendously powerful for your meditation and the real test of your silence, because you can live in the Himalayas but never really know what is the true depth of your silence, simply because nothing disturbs you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nothing can disturb you. The silence of the Himalayas will just reinforce your silence. So I think maybe I told you once about a statement of the Zen master. He said, meditation in action is far superior to meditation in stillness. Because while you're active in the world, your mind can become disturbed by so many million and one different things. But yet you remain totally silent, undisturbed. Now this is true silence. People usually think that silence means activity of the mind has come to a stillness, not even a single thought is happening in your experience, a thoughtless state of consciousness. That's one kind of silence. But that's not true silence, because true silence is whether the mind is in a storm of activity or whether there's not even a single thought happening, still you remain totally balanced within yourself. You remain the master.
That's what I'm still having trouble.
Many yogis, their consciousness is in such a way with just sitting silently within a few moments, they can come to the deepest space within them. Where all activity of the mind has come to a stillness. Even you disappear, the other disappears. Everything merges as one. And they can remain in that state as long as they want and come out of it whenever they want. But once they return to the world, they're very much disturbed. They're so much attached to that. Some yogis are so much attached to that state that they're too afraid to leave it. Really. They're absorbed in that state. But they're afraid that if they come out of it, their freedom will become ruined. So our freedom is really dependent upon just a mere single thought happening in the mind. Isn't it? They're so fragile. It's so fragile. Any moment it can come crashing down. Just one unpleasant thought in your mind and you're finished.
Yeah.
That's not true silence. It reminds me of a situation where a disciple went to see a Zen master. I might have told you about this. He went to see the Zen master and he asked him a question. He asked, how can we become free from hot and cold? And you should understand the question. What he's asking is basically, how can we become free from the dualities of existence? Right? Everything in existence is according to a duality. Light, darkness, the male, the female, birth, death, pleasantness, unpleasantness. Man's life is a bit like at the mercy of these polar opposites.
Mm-hmm.
So he asks this question, how can I become free? How can we become free from heat and cold? What he's asking is, how can we become free from the dualities of existence? And the master just said, when you're hot, feel thoroughly hot. When you're cold, feel completely cold, through and through.
Yeah, I understand that. That's what that book said, Agorthy. I really like that.
This is what it means to be in the world, yet not of the world.
Yeah.
In the mind, yet not of the mind. You're still totally involved in the world, yet Nothing disturbs your silence.